Hello everyone, my name is Olivia, and in honor of the back to school season, I wanted to recommend you a couple of books based on majors. So these are all books set in university or in an academy, and I am so excited to get into these recommendations. But before we do, in order to celebrate the back to school season, this video is sponsored by Redbubble to show you a couple of the goodies that I've gotten to spruce up my room and to really celebrate my interests and hobbies, because Redbubble is the perfect place to do that. If you do not know what Redbubble is, it's one of my favorite places to shop, both for myself and for my friends. You can find thousands upon thousands of designs by independent authors relating to your specific interests, and you can put them on socks, mugs, crew necks, notebooks, mouse pads, and so much more. So in order to celebrate this season of people going back to dorms, people going back to high school, or just to celebrate the season of sprucing up your room to relate to your interests and your own personal aesthetic, I have a couple of things that I got from Redbubble that I am very excited to show you. So let's get into that haul before we get into the recommendations video. So let's start with the stickers that I got. One that I got that I think is super cute is a pixel art one, and it says, "Are you sure you want to delete the folder? Feelings." And then we have cute little witchy cats in a coffee mug and a record player that is also a galaxy effect. Because I love giving postcards to my friends, I got a beautiful postcard that I actually also got on a pouch. I love this design. I think it is so beautiful. So I had to put it on a pouch, and I also have it on a postcard to mail to a friend eventually, but I use this as a pouch that I bring to the beach because I put all my personal items that I don't want sand to get onto. Love this pouch. I've already used it. I've already brought it to the beach. Love it. I also got myself a sage green notebook because you can never run out of notebooks. And because spooky season is quickly approaching, I got two things to celebrate the Halloween season and to celebrate the perfect time of the year. So one thing that I got is an artboard print, which I like to decorate my room with during the Halloween season, and this one has bats on it. It's freaking bats. I love it. And then I got a phone case for my new phone. I am so happy with it. I got it in green. Right here. Right now I have my clear case on, but once spooky season hits, I'm going to put this Redbubble one on. It is vampire themed and super cute, and I just love the design. And I know I'm going to get so many different phone cases from Redbubble in the future to customize it for the different parts of the year. Redbubble also has dad hats now, so I got one with a coffee cup on it. I recently discovered that I like wearing hats. I never thought I could be a hat person, but I am a hat person now, and I think they're really cute and really fun, especially if you don't want to do your hair that day. And I also got probably one of my favorite crew necks ever, and it is a Cookie Cat crew neck. If you have seen Steven Universe, I think the first episode of Steven Universe, it features Cookie Cat, and I love Cookie Cat so much. It's one of my favorite parts of Steven Universe, and I love that I can now have it on a crew neck, and I cannot wait to wear it once the weather finally cools down. And to spruce up my room, I also got a new pillowcase to fit my new green aesthetic, and it also relates to my love for plants. This fits my style so much. It fits my personal aesthetic, and I am so happy that I found this and I was able to put it onto a pillowcase. I also got a blue pillowcase as well, which is also nature themed, and it is just so vibrant and beautiful, and I am just so happy with everything that I got from Redbubble. I'm always so happy with their designs, and I love putting my personal, very niche interests onto different things like pillowcases and crew necks and socks. And if you want to check out any design that I have gotten from Redbubble for this video, be sure to click the link in my bio. Use my coupon code, which will be featured right here, to get a discount off your order. Thank you so much to Redbubble for sponsoring my video. And now let's get into the video so you can get some amazing book recommendations that are all set in a university or academy. So the first one that I want to talk about is perfect for people who are studying Shakespeare. And the book is If We Were Villains by Emma Rio. This is set at the Dellicker Classical Conservatory, and it follows two different timelines. We follow our main character Oliver 10 years after tragedy strikes at this university, and he is recently freed from jail, and a police officer wants to know the truth behind the tragedy that happened in this university. So then we flash back 10 years to follow Oliver along with a group of Shakespearean actors as they are preparing to eventually perform a play for their school when tragedy strikes and their lives are changed forever. So we follow these group of actors who are very similar to the roles that they play, and these characters are just dealing with their love for Shakespeare, and they're dealing with the drama that happens on and off stage and how their relationships intertwine, and there's a lot of tension between each other, and then we watch the eventual tragedy that strikes. This is one of the most atmospheric and lush novels that I have ever read. If you are a big fan of Shakespeare, this is your bread and butter because there are countless references. They are constantly quoting Shakespeare, and it is just everything you would want and more if you are a fan of the Bard. This is definitely a story I want to reread again because I don't remember a lot of details from it, but I do remember reading them performing Shakespeare and being so awe-inspired. I think there's a scene in this story where they perform Shakespeare in an abandoned house. So you go to each room in the house to get the full story. I believe that's in this story, and I remember reading that and thinking that was such a cool concept and something that I would love to do in real life. And this book is just so good. It really captures the essence and the pretentiousness of college, and if you have not read this before, you have to. It's amazing, it is gripping, and it is just so much fun if you love Shakespeare. If you're an English major, then you will absolutely love The Truants. This is definitely a slower, dark academia novel compared to If We Were Villains, but this is a story that I had so much fun with and thought was just the wildest ride ever. So we follow our main character, Jess, who is obsessed with this one professor, Dr. Lorna Clay, who teaches her about life, love, and her love for Agatha Christie. As she attends this university, she falls into this crowd of very rebellious students who all have their own personal issues that kind of bleed together to form this very toxic friend group. This is a very literary type of dark academia novel. It is slow-paced and atmospheric and has this beautiful language that just sucks you right into this very gray story that is full of twists and turns and full of these characters who make bad mistakes and have a lot of secrets lurking beneath the surface. This doesn't focus too much around academic life, but it does follow the relationship between a student and a teacher and how she is obsessed with this teacher and think that she's larger than life. And it also follows a group of students who are so closely knit that their lives start to bleed together. I thought this was super fun. I think it is very underrated. I don't see a lot of people talking about this book. It's definitely not for everyone in terms of its pacing, but I think if you love slow-moving novels and if you have the same taste as me, you would greatly love this novel. Super fun, very unexpected. I did not expect to love it as much as I did, but I had such a great time with it. If you are a STEM major, then you will love The Love Hypothesis. The Love Hypothesis follows our main character, Olive, who is a PhD candidate, and she ends up in a fake dating scenario with one of the professors at her university. Don't worry, he's not her actual professor, he just happens to be a professor at the university, so there's not a weird power dynamic to this. It's very consensual, it is very lovely, and the way that they treat each other is healthy. But the thing is, Olive is a very bubbly, happy type of personality, and Adam is a grumpy, aloof professor that people are very intimidated by. So they have to navigate this new relationship on campus in front of everyone, and as they are doing that, they are slowly falling in love with one another. This is super fun, set on a college campus, and highlights what it's like to be a woman in STEM. If you love the fake dating trope, if you love the grumpy and sunshine trope, then you will love this story. It is spoken about everywhere, but I think it is totally worth the hype, and you just have to go into it with an open mind, just looking for a fluffy contemporary, and that's where you're going to get. But it's also set on a college campus, so it's really fun. If you were to ever major in espionage, then this is the book for you, and this is set in an academy that I wish was real, because reading about it as a kid had me so inspired to become a spy. And it is I'd Tell You I Love You, But Then I Have to Kill You by Ally Carter. Yes, the famous book that so many people have discovered from their Scholastic book fair that changed their life forever and made them want to become a spy. Me included. If you do not know what the series is about, it follows a group of girls who attend the Gallagher Academy for Exceptional Young Women. And this is an all-girls school that is not just a regular academy, but it's a spy academy. So these girls are all learning different tactics and different ways to become the best spies around. In this book, we follow our main character, Cami, who is one of the best students in this academy when she comes across a boy and has a very big crush on him. So it says that she is fluent in 14 languages, is capable of killing a man in 7 different ways with her bare hands, but she has no idea what to do when she comes across an ordinary boy and she develops a crush on him. The series I think is 6 books, and I definitely do want to reread them because I think that they are such a great time and they are what influenced me to want to become a writer, even though I don't feel that way anymore. I was so inspired by this story and I really wanted to write a story myself because of it. It's definitely one of the first book series that I read that had such healthy and supportive female friendships, and I really love that. And I think the series is so much fun because it's so unique, because we never read about girls who are so badass in such a contemporary setting. So reading about girl spies as a young kid was so inspiring. Love this series, cannot recommend it enough. Ali Carter really hit it out of the park with this series. The next 2 books that I have to recommend are books that are on my TBR, one that I'm currently reading and one that I want to read eventually. The first book that I'm currently reading is perfect if you are an art major, and it is Sirens and Muses. I am only about 100 pages into Sirens and Muses, but I am absolutely loving it. So we follow 3 different students at this university, and then we follow a professor at this university, and this novel explores so many different aspects of what it's like to be an artist. It explores what it's like to be an artist in academia. It explores what it's like to be an artist of privilege. It follows what it's like to be a professor versus a student. And it also explores the different mediums of art, because we have one doing digital art, we have one who's a painter. It definitely reminds me of the truants in the way that these characters are interacting with their professors and they're interacting with each other, and I'm sure something is going to rock the surface of these characters' lives. So I think this is super fun. So many people I trust have read it and loved it, and I think it is definitely worth the hype that it is getting. And the last book that I have to recommend is perfect if you are studying a language, and it is Babel by R.F. Kuang. Babel is a thematic response to The Secret History and a tonal retort to Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell that grapples with students' revolutions, colonial resistance, and the use of language in translation as the dominating tool of the British Empire. So this is a historical fiction academia novel set in 1828 in Oxford University, and so many people have ranted and raved about how beautiful this novel is from the very few who have read it already. So we follow our main character who works in the Royal Institute of Translation, also known as Babel. But then he starts to realize that there's a secret society called the Hermes Society, and they are trying to stop the imperial expansion that Babel is currently supporting. So he's grappling between colonialism, power dynamics, and the different aspects of what it's like to attend university as a person of color. I am very excited to read this. It is a hunker of a book, but I think it's going to be fascinating, unique, and just unlike anything I've ever read before. So this is perfect if you're looking for a diverse, dark academia. There are so many different ways that you can explore academia from different marginalized perspectives, and I definitely want to add a lot more of them to my TBR. So if you have any recommendations, please put them down below. But this is one that I am super pumped about. I know it's going to be a bestseller immediately, and I know so many people are excited for it already, so I'm very excited to get to this as well. I love reading about university settings, even though I didn't like my university experience. I think escaping into a mysterious version of university where tragedy strikes and everyone's lives are changed is really fun as someone who did not have the perfect university experience. So I'm always looking for different university experiences to dive into in a fictional setting, and if you have any recommendations, please put them down below. Also put the different major that they would fit into, like I did for all of these books. Thank you so much to Redbubble for sponsoring this video. Again, if you want to check them out, be sure to click the link down below to see all the designs that I got, and be sure to use my code, which will be featured right here. If you do get anything from Redbubble, please tag me on my Instagram at storiesforcoffee, because I would love to see what you got from them, because I genuinely love them so much and they're one of my favorite people to work with. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you have not subscribed so already, be sure to do so. If you want to follow me on TikTok or Instagram, be sure to do so as well. That will be linked down below. If you made it this far in the video, leave a pencil emoji so we can see who stays for the longest in all my videos. If you do, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye!